10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Manchester United have
0.
reached the promised land.
Well, good morning then, everybody. How are you all doing? Did you miss me? Judging by how few of you have joined in this morning, maybe not. But I think YouTube might be having a bit of a stinker. Notifications not going out. But I'm here. I'm live. As you can hear, I sound absolutely abysmal. Don't drink, kids. Just stick to water. It's far more interesting. It's not more interesting, but it's better for you. But look, the World Cup started. As you can see, we've got a nice new overlay here. I got all this. Look, got that ready as well. Cracking. Got that from Stanley Chow. I'm excited for the World. Actually, to be fair, I wasn't really excited about the World Cup. I'll be completely honest. But I enjoyed that yesterday. England absolutely spanking Iran. Yes, it was only Iran, but I think they'd only conceded like their record going into the World Cup was nay bad. And England really put them to the sword. Fantastic, really. We're going to be speaking about Jude Bellingham. I did a video on him yesterday, right? And wow, man. At the age of 19, to be doing what he's doing on the biggest of stages everywhere in the Champions League, done it with Dortmund, doing it with England. It's it's quite impressive from him. We're going to be speaking about Jude Bellingham. Going to be speaking about the actual United players there, not just players we're linked with. Marcus Rashford scoring after 49 seconds from the bench. Luke Shaw looking like, let's be honest, like Euro 2020 Shaw, a bit like Maguire, looked like Euro 2020 Maguire. We'll speak about all of them. We'll speak about Cody Gakpo and his mate. That was such a nice header. It was a game that didn't really have too much quality in. Let's be completely honest. But what a pass that was from Frenkie de Jong, and what a header that was from Cody Gakpo. Really, genuinely top quality header. Now we'll speak about Wales. We'll speak about the games coming up. Argentina against Saudi Arabia kicking off in less than 25 minutes. Why is Lisandro Martinez on the bench there? Unbelievable. Disgraceful. Then we've got, 4 games today? Mexico, Poland. I think we've got France against Australia and Denmark against Tunisia. Whew. There's a lot going on. These shows really are going to be packed. It's quiet in here this morning because I presume that YouTube doing its favorite thing in the world and not sending out. Look, you spend so long, you do so much work being consistent to build up subscribers, and then YouTube just doesn't tell them when you're doing live videos. Thanks very much, YouTube. Really, really appreciate that. But who's down here in the comments? Or you're backing your team to win? You're not going to. Sorry, mate. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But look, who's down here this morning? Paula, I can see you there. Daisy, Jason, M. Lenosh, Alex, as always, man. Michael, Gungshi, I can see you there as well. Carl Perkins, don't worry, mate. I was 1 minute late as well. But good morning to all of you. It's, I'm looking forward to be able to speak properly again. I'm not quite there yet. And Josh, I can see you there too. But look, it's certainly a good start from England at the World Cup. Yes, it's only Iran. But when I think this is what I said in my match. I wasn't really a match reaction yesterday. I was kind of waxing lyrical. Hey, there you go. Didn't take long. Less than 4 minutes for me to say that. I just wanted to speak about Jude Bellingham. Let's speak about him again this morning, right? There's lots and lots here to talk about from that game yesterday. Jordan saying to Sam, good, man, look at that, man. Do you want us to take a look? That picture, if for everybody who received their merch so far, there's a couple of things inside the package. There's a sticker, which you can see up there. Can't point properly. United against the Glazers. One of those is included for you, and a little note from me. Oh, and I can see you there. Don't worry about that. I just didn't see your name popping up. But look, Bellingham. Can we speak about Bellingham? My God. People saying down there, man of the match in the comments. It was probably Saka. It was either Saka or Bellingham. I think you could give that man of the match to. And it was just wow. I think that was a big thing that changed yesterday. That felt a little bit different against Iran. Is that England? I was about to say United there. England kept going for it. 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. Kept going and going and going, scoring really good goals. Yes, Iran's goalkeeper was injured. By the way, obviously in these first 3 games of the World Cup, we've seen, what was it? I think there was 24 minutes of stoppage time in the England game, obviously because of the clash of heads with the Iran goalkeeper, who shouldn't have stayed on. It's ridiculous. And then in the second game, there was it 10 minutes in the Netherlands game? And then there was 9 minutes in the Wales game. Apparently, FIFA have set new rules out that's sort of trying to stop time wasting. So it seems like there's going to be a lot of stoppage time. So some seriously long games coming up. Let me see what you're saying down here about Jude Bellingham, because I think this will be an interesting set of conversation. What do you think about Bellingham, right? You let me know in the comments. I did a video only a couple of weeks ago saying, look, Manchester United, we can't be looking at trying to sign Jude Bellingham. And with a lot of, well, I thought I was trying to be logic. Well, trying to be logic. Seriously, I'm just not with it at this moment. It's been a struggle here. 3 days. Yes, I was away on a stag do. Yes, it absolutely ruined me. No, I can't do it anymore. Yes, I've now realized that. But my mind is still absolutely mush. But Jude Bellingham, right? I did a video like less than 2 weeks ago now saying that because of how much we're probably going to have as a budget, because of how much Bellingham's going to cost, there's no way that we can go after him. Logically, there's no way. And then I go and watch that performance there, and I just, wow. Can we really just afford to sit there and just not do anything whilst Jude Bellingham goes to City and we just do nothing? I want you to let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm going to quickly check out the live chat on here, make sure I don't miss anything. Hardly anybody joining. Oh, look at that, Nizam. Thank you very much, Nizam, man. Even when there's hardly anybody joining in, that's such a core. I love the core membership on here. That just everybody, not just the members, but the subscribers as well. It's amazing. But yeah, it really does piss me off when YouTube just doesn't send out notifications. As I say, I've spent so much time and effort building up this community, and for them just to not send out notifications really is just, it's not particularly fair. Let me see what's down here. Nothing wrong with the mind flexible to new information. Look at that. Logically, there's no way we're spanking it. Yeah, I agree with that as well. But it's just like when you watch a performance like that, when you see a player like that, who will be available on the market in the summer. Jude Bellingham, he will be leaving Dortmund. There's no way they hold on to him. But it's, yeah, man. It's amazing. Jason, I don't think I can do I don't think I can actually physically do 3 days again. I can do 2 days maybe. But some of you got notifications. Some of you didn't. Is what it is. Well, it's not is what it is. It annoys me. It really, really annoys me. Alex, you're saying, look, Bellingham will cost between 150 to 200 mil in wages. Plus wages, sorry. If we go for him, they won't have any budget anywhere else. I know you're probably right. And I think that's exactly why I felt confident enough to do that video a couple of weeks ago saying that we shouldn't really be looking at him. But then you go and see that in the first game of the World Cup. And let's see if this is going to be a World Cup where things actually do change and are different for England. We've all got a pretty strong feeling that guy's going to be the absolute heart of it, really. He was given a bit of freedom inside that midfield yesterday by Gareth Southgate, and it paid dividends. Declan Rice doing all the dirty work, cleaning up behind him, and Jude Bellingham was just kind of allowed to just kind of bomb forward. Absolutely bomb forward, and it was fantastic. Paulie, you're saying you didn't get a notification? No. Hopefully that's not the case tomorrow. They just pick and choose when they send notifications out. Really nice of them, really. The only way we'll go for him, says David, is if we sell at least players at a decent selling on fee, mate. United aren't going to be doing that. Who do we ever sell on for a good fee, apart from Dan James? You watch that Wales game yesterday, like, wow. Yeah, Dan James really did play for United, and we really did sell him for a profit as well. But enough about Jude Bellingham, because there was all the United's players there who either started or came off the bench. They all had their impact. And Marcus Rashford, man, I'm so happy for Marcus Rashford. Coming off the bench, 49 seconds it took him to score. 49 seconds it took him to score. 3 touches, bang, bang, bang. Lovely, calm finish. Cut inside onto his left foot. Slotted it along the ground. And you saw how much it meant to him. And this was what he was saying on Twitter yesterday after the game. Words can't express my happiness in scoring at the World Cup. Great performance from the team. And I'll see you guys on Friday. But Marcus Rashford, man, for him to go from the Euro 2020 final, him and Bukayo Saka, and to put in that sort of performance in the first game of the World Cup. Yeah, and I would completely agree with you down there in the comments, Ant. Rashi does just look like an entirely different player. I know body language isn't everything, but we've seen him play with more of a smile this season. It seems like the weight of the whole world isn't on his shoulders dragging him down. It seems like he's enjoying and thriving in that environment now. And it's fantastic to see, man. It really, really is. I love Marcus Rashford. And yeah, I'm just happy. I'm just genuinely just happy for him. Logic, I can see you down there joining as a member, man. Let me know where you're watching from. I'll try and give you a shout out. Chris, you're talking about Gakpo down there. I'll be having a conversation about Gakpo, don't worry. But again, it wasn't just Marcus Rashford yesterday. Luke Shaw. Mate, Luke Shaw is a very good left back. He's somebody who kind of gets fat shamed because he's got a bit of a Rooney physique. You know, Rooney, when Rooney was fit and he was playing and he had a good few months training under his belt, he always looked a bit trimmer. Then Rooney comes back from the summer holiday and he looks like he's had a bit, because Rooney very quickly put weight on and it was quite difficult for him to lose it. He was a stocky guy. Luke Shaw is a bit, well, very, very similar, I would say, in that sense. But he looks very trim and he looks absolutely on point. I think he's been looking pretty good for United ever since Tyrone Malacia came in for those 4 games, kind of kicked Luke Shaw out the starting 11. Then Luke Shaw sort of forced his way back into it after, was it Malacia's mistakes away at Omonia? I think it was Everton at half-time. Maybe he got hooked. And then Shaw's been in the team ever since. Shaw looks good. Really, that pinpoint delivery for Jude Bellingham's cross. I'm sitting there going, now I'm just daydreaming about Luke Shaw and Jude Bellingham linking up for England. What else are you saying? These shows are going to be, I suppose, well, very different. There's no United to talk about. I will speak about any major United news as and when, and I'll try and bring you United videos throughout the entire month. But I've got no idea really what's going to be going on. I'm going to try and keep these shows up every morning. They'll get better than this, I promise you. I'm a bit of a feeble human being today still. And you're saying that I'm telling you, if Shaw actually enjoy football, he'd be one of the best in the world. Mate, Shaw is enjoying his football. Rashford is enjoying his football. Bukayo Saka is enjoying his football. I think that's probably the most impressive part of that game against Iran was. It wasn't just the fact that we scored 6. You know, England scored 6, I think, against Panama at the last World Cup, didn't they? Yeah, they did. So that's not the be all and end all or the measure of success. But England just played with a bit of a confident swagger yesterday. They really, really did. Did what you're saying down there. Shawberto Carlos. He loves that name, doesn't he? I'm not sure if you said that. Not sure if you said that. Charlie, I try and do... Honestly, I think there's a real responsibility now, which I want, right, with this community and with everything that's got built now. I just can't go and do that anymore. I think that's what I've realized. Different parts of your life, you're allowed to do different things, and you've got to be focused on. I can't do that anymore, and I don't want to do that anymore because I can't do this properly. I can't do this to the same level I normally can do because my mind is absolutely mush, and it's just not worth it anymore. Kind of annoyed me, really. And look, let's speak about Maguire yesterday, right? Maguire, standard. I put a £10 bet on Maguire to score a header, so as soon as he hit the bar, I was like, oh, no. Harry. But look, Maguire was a game where... Was it a player? Maguire had a game where, let's be completely honest, Iran were... They were pretty poor. They were very poor. Iran were clearly set up to hit on the counter-attack, but even every time they kind of tried to hit us on the counter-attack, it didn't particularly work for them. They were poor. And I would expect Harry Maguire to have a far sterner test against much tougher opposition in the World Cup. But credit where it's due. If I'm going to sit here and praise Rashford for scoring against Iran, I'm going to praise Luke Shaw for how he played against Iran. It would be very disingenuous of me to not praise Harry Maguire for how he played against Iran. I've been heavily critical, absolutely heavily critical of Harry Maguire, and I stand by what I said. I don't think that performance against Iran changes my opinion of that. But I tell you what, like, he certainly enjoys the England environment more than he enjoys the Manchester United environment. Absolutely. Gareth Southgate is he's a manager who's supported Harry Maguire. And let's find out here that if he can continue that, there's no doubt that the next couple of games will be harder than the Iran game. We've got USA coming up next on Friday evening. And I tell you what, it sets up that last game against Wales to be an absolute corker. Because if Wales can beat Iran and England can beat USA, that'll be us two on 6 and 4. Wales know they can top the group if they beat us. It'll be good. Let me see what you're thinking about the Maguire performance. Let's have a look. Read some down there. Yeah, well done to them. Well done to them for standing up. And I mean, if you didn't know how corrupt FIFA was, just the things that they're coming out with. Basically, Qatar have bought the voice of FIFA. So anything that Qatar wants to say, anything that Qatar wants to make people do, Qatar doesn't have to say anything. They can just make FIFA say it. It's a bit like the Belgian kits on the inside of the collar on the away kit. There's love is written there. So now FIFA are telling Belgium that they're not allowed that anymore. What's embroidered on the inside of their kit. And it's like, what are you doing? It's absolutely mad. And yeah, I think everybody's kind of said that. Everyone kind of knew that. It definitely was. He is a system player. In an environment where you're playing with a deeper line, it's like, who were we playing against? Was it Newcastle? Where Harry Maguire was on and he actually had a pretty damn decent game. We kept a clean sheet. Was it a clean sheet? I think it was. Those sorts of environments Harry Maguire would be good in, but he'll never, ever, ever, ever be good enough to play in a team that requires an extremely high line that leaves dangerous space in behind, because it just exacerbates the weaknesses of him. And that won't ever change. It doesn't matter what really happens at this World Cup, how many times I've seen Maguire perform, or what he does for England. It doesn't change at that. He's just not suited for United. Just not suited for United. Mate, look, the two boys down here, Alex and Gungshi, you're trying your hardest to make me feel slightly better about myself this morning. And honestly, this community is, yeah, it's the one. I know you're allowed to let your hair down every so often, but yeah, I'm not doing that again, man. I can't. I can't do this job properly and do that at the same time. Something's got to give, and I'm not giving this up. Alex, who are the lucky 5 there? Mike Crammon, you've got 1. Jonathan Jonkman, Steve Lacken, Herb Green, and Chetan, you're the lucky 5 there. And Gungshi, you've just donated 5 as well, man. Absolute dons. Ross, Saves Mount, Matty Jones, James Jennings, and Gavin Redmond. Gungshi, I still need to be able to get in contact with you so I can give you the discount code for the merch. Yeah, it's my way of saying thank you very much to you, because you just keep helping the channel. He is absolutely always delivers. And it's a shame. I've still got some. Yeah, looking all right. Looking all right. Look, and this is now, I love Jack Grealish. I really genuinely do. And I'm not just saying that in a direct reaction to this. I think he's a very genuine bloke. It's a shame that he plays for City, really. Of course, you all remember what that video was there on the right-hand side. That's him meeting a young lad called Finlay, who's got cerebral palsy. And Jack Grealish there, he was asked by Finlay, he goes, look, if you score a goal, next time you score a goal, can you bop out this celebration? And he show you one more time there. And he did. He remembered to do it. And yeah, Daisy, you're down there. You're saying, look, it was very wholesome. It was extremely wholesome, man. And footballers get a lot of bad stick because a lot of them, they are arseholes. Well, kind of just in general. There's a lot of arseholes everywhere. Jack Grealish isn't one of them. Yep, Paula. I think that's where a lot of the empathy comes from Jack Grealish and understanding that. And it's yeah, man, It's a shame he didn't join Man United. Seriously, I'm not, just a very wholesome dude. And that was a very wholesome moment. But it's World Cup. We're one day into the World Cup, right? And there are a lot of talking points. There are a lot of conversations we can have. And Cody Gakpo, right? I don't think that was a particularly impressive performance from the Netherlands. I don't think they were very good. I think Cody Gakpo, he was on all the set. I didn't realize he was a set piece taker for the Netherlands. He came up with a moment of magic right towards the end. Wonderful pass from Frenkie de Jong, by the way. I've seen some people trying to say that Frenkie de Jong had an abysmal game yesterday. I don't think that whatsoever. I think there was a lot of drives that he did through midfield. I don't know. Maybe just people expect absolute 10 out of 10s from him. Yeah, Dan, I do feel quite sad. No, I'm not sad. I'm just not feeling myself today. I'm still feeling sorry for myself. Mate, Sarthak. All of you legends of the community down here. It's amazing. How can I not be happy in here? Ukeme, what are you saying? You've been given one. Ao Dejai, you've got one. Static, Chris Beadle, Jason Gascoigne, Kelong Lim, Edzi, Darren, the Favix, and Garn. All of you have been given one today. Jonathan, you're saying, look, De Jong and Gakpo, United's next signings. I don't know. I mean, we're looking. Look, I suppose we're all just dreaming, aren't we? We're having conversations about Jude Bellingham. We're having conversations now. Oh, not about Gareth Bale. About Cody Gakpo. And about Frenkie de Jong. I mean, come on. And I think you're right there. There was a proper desire from Gakpo yesterday. And look, it wasn't the most impressive overall performance from basically anybody in that Dutch team. But in the moments where it mattered the most, it was a cracking header from Cody Gakpo. Really difficult header. Just curved the ball in. Just one of those passes that are so perfect from Frenkie de Jong that you've only got to get a glancing touch on it because it's already heading towards the goal. And it was a cracking goal, and I'm happy for him. And I said it before, it didn't take a rocket scientist, okay? And it's not exactly it's not exactly the hardest shout in the world. But I said that Cody Gakpo just struck me as one of those players who's probably going to add 20, 30 million onto his price tag because of how he performs at the World Cup. Now, Erik ten Hag identified him during the summer. And if Ajax, look, again, this is a hypothetical situation, right? If Manchester United had gone after Antony earlier in the summer and not waited until we had lost against Brighton and Brentford before we panicked and before we pulled out the checkbook, odds are we probably would have been able to sign Cody Gakpo and Antony for a combined around about 100, 105 million. There or thereabouts. Towards the end of the window, PSV rejected a 43 million euro bid from Leeds for Gakpo. There's no way that you're going to get him for 40 million now. We paid 85 for Antony. Was that overpriced? Yes. Do I regret that we signed him? Absolutely not. I think Antony's a class player. Really looking forward to seeing how he can play for Brazil. Although I don't know whether he's going to start ahead of Rafinha on the wing. But Gakpo's price, look, that's one game. It's one performance. It's one goal. Let's see how he continues to do it. But I was quite impressed there. I really was quite impressed by him. Let me see what you're saying down here. If we do sign Gakpo, who loses out on the left, and I mean, if you watched him yesterday, well, you watched where he scored his goal from at the very least. Gakpo is somebody who strikes me. He's certainly got the physique to play through the middle. I imagine if we're going to be looking at Gakpo, I think there's a real chance that he turns that. Look, I think I hate comparing things to Liverpool, but I just think Liverpool have got a lot of things right over the last few years. And when they had their best front three, and it was Mane, it was Firmino, and it was Salah. I mean, Firmino typically played through the middle, but they kind of all swapped and changed and drifted. And I imagine if we were to sign Gakpo, that's what it would be. you may well see the starting 11 of Gakpo on the left, of Rashford or Martial through the middle, with Antony on the right-hand side. But it would chop and change. He can play through the middle. And I don't think we should absolutely just define him as a left winger at this moment in time. And the amount of goal contributions he's had, he's got like 30, 35 goal contributions so far this season for PSV and for Holland. But it's going to cost a lot of dough. He's going to cost way more than we would have been able to sign him in the summer had we not gone so slow to sign Antony, and it left us up shit creek and we had to pay for it. But it was an impressive performance from him. And I tell you what, yeah, I was watching that Holland game and I was like, wow, I remember what it was like watching Louis van Gaal be Manchester United manager. I'm not sure if you had the same feeling. I was sitting there going, geez, feels a bit like I remember when I watched United play PSV in the Champions League at Old Trafford and it was 0-0. I think that was at a time where we might have drawn against 0-0 against like PSV and Norwich. And it was just like we went through like this 5, 6, 7, 8 game period where we hardly scored a goal. Now, Gakpo, look, he is down as a left winger first and foremost, but he just strikes me as somebody who's got the versatility, who can drift a bit more inside if he needs to. And let's be honest, let's see what goes on there. And down there talking about Garnacho, that's an interesting conversation to have. Garnacho, with the way that he's shone so far, his left wing is going to that left wing is going to be his for sure. Look, I enjoyed all the football yesterday, and we got 10 games. I think Argentina against Saudi Arabia has just kicked off, and everybody I'm throwing a competition today. I'm going to be doing loads of these throughout the World Cup because why not? Very simple competition here. So if Argentina beat Saudi Arabia today, I'm going to be giving away one of the Butcher t-shirts. All you've got to do to enter is just retweet that and follow us on Twitter. Simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less. But look, let's talk about the games today, right? Let's talk about the games today because there's 4. There's one that's on right now. That's Argentina against Saudi Arabia. That's just kicked off. Let's see if it shows you the live scores there when you refresh it. Yep, 0-0. Funny that. 2 minutes into the game. Then we've got Denmark against Tunisia at 1 o'clock. Some more United involvement there. 4 o'clock, we've got Mexico against Poland. And then 7 o'clock, we've got France against Australia. Now, we all wanted to see this man in the starting 11. What are you doing that? Christian Romero and is it Nicolas Otamendi? I think they're the 2 starting centre-backs. I think that was quite expected. Argentina really have had a cracking qualifying. They've been a very good team over the last few years. Like the last 6 to 8 months. I'm really excited to see what Lionel Messi can do at this World Cup. Talk about polar opposites of the seasons that Ronaldo and Messi have been having and just the current context around their career going into this World Cup. All the spotlight on Ronaldo for the wrong reasons, all the spotlight on Messi for the right reasons. I'm looking forward to watching those 2 at the World Cup. Neymar, you can throw him in there as well. What you're all saying down here in the comments. I gave Or a discount code to use for the merch, but he didn't use it. And what I'm going to be doing, or that's going to be part of the Advent calendar giveaway. I'm going to be giving something away every single day in December. Maybe some merch. I've got some cracking little posters here from Stanley Chow. There's going to be a giveaway every single day, and there's going to be a giveaway sponsored by Or on one of those days. What else are you saying down here? Martial being snubbed for France. I mean, they've got so much quality in that attack. I think that's not the first time he's been snubbed by France. It might not be the last time either. That's what I think so. Alex, you're saying that hard to ignore Gakpo in current form. Ten Hag would probably prefer more time on the training ground to get him up to speed. If we get him in, I don't know. Ooh. January, I have no idea, man. I have no idea what we're going to be able to do in January. And certainly after the World Cup, it's just going to... I mean, Gakpo, you're probably looking at... Realistically now, you're looking 60 mil plus, which is a hell of a hike on what it was in the summer. Hell of a hike. But that's what happens when you wait. He has a cracking 3-4 months with PSV, and he there goes to the World Cup and starts doing it there. Messi nearly scored just there. Right, we'll wrap this one up really quickly. We'll just talk about the United players who are going to be... I'm going to probably keep these shows to half an hour every morning. Maybe I'll join a little bit earlier. Martinez, hopefully he comes off the bench there. We've got, obviously, Christian Eriksen playing against Hannibal Mejbri's Tunisia. Now, if you watched Hannibal Mejbri and you watched Tunisia, watched him, it was the African Cup of Nations, and there was it the FIFA Arab Cup? I think it was. And he played in both of them. I'm looking forward to seeing what Hannibal does there. And he's been having a cracking season at Birmingham as well. Raphael Varane, well, the early word is that he's going to be on the bench for France. We don't know that, and we'll find that out later on, right? But I'm looking forward to doing these shows throughout the World Cup. I feel like I'm back in the game now. Whew, just about. Thank you all for joining in this morning. It wasn't that many of you, but you're the core community. You really are. Big up to all of you. Big up to Alex and Sarthak and Gungshi. And I apologize for anybody else who I forgot who gifted some memberships there. What we're saying there, and saying if I was to buy a hoodie, could it be raffled live and the proceeds used to buy Christmas? We can do stuff like that. We can do lots and lots of stuff like that. Robert, how you doing there, buddy? But look, thank you all for joining in. I'm looking forward to the rest of the World Cup. As and when, I might come back later on today and we can do another United video. I kind of want to do something on Gakpo. I might do that today. I might wait until the second game. We'll find out. Enjoy the football. There's 4 games of it. And I tell you what, it was a pretty good start by Bellingham, Rashford, Shaw, Maguire, Gakpo. I'm looking forward to the rest of it. Take it easy, everyone.